With 2 races in the books, and Alex Johnson has led 77 out of a possible 80 laps this season. With that kind of dominance, one would think the speedy Swede would hold more than just a 6-point lead in the championship. But newcomer Dennis Garrison is keeping the point leader within striking distance. Will those 2 drivers continue to dominate, or will other names like Hay, Burns, or Ronku join the party? Find out now, because from Zandvoort, it's the Absolute Beginners League's Formula Neagle Season 15 Championship, and all the Round 3 simulated Formula Renault 2.0 action can be seen live as it happens right here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Where the seabirds fly and the rents are high from the dunes, hello and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. Stefan Slocker joining yours truly, Bill Soups on, to bring you our Word's Eye view. Sean Crackers Ambrose has director duties, armed with cameras locked and loaded by the Ansel Adams of iRacing, Dougie Beer. The schedule leaves the street circuit of Detroit behind and moves to a purpose-built road course. Stefan, tell us a little bit about Zandvoort.
Well, also from me, goedendag vanuit Zandvoort. Sikkie Zandvoort, as it is pronounced in Dutch, has already seen quite some action since its grand opening in 1948. Originally a fast and dangerous 2.642 mile long track, many believe it got shortened over times. But the layout sitting here before us is actually longer than its original cousin, standing at 2.67 miles in length, substantially slower on average speeds, of course. Nowadays, 13 tracks make up the twisty circuit, but despite being twisty, there are a lot of passing zones, so action is guaranteed. Although Zandvoort has some up and downs after turn 3, the difference between the highest and lowest point on the track is roughly 8 meters. But now it's time to take you around the Dutch dunes in our GSRC lap guide.
Alright, we're in the GSRC Formula Renault 2.0, so let's do a lap around Zandvoort. Tarzan is definitely going to be your best opportunity for a pass with the high speeds into heavy braking. Watch out on entry because the banking seems to like to lock the inside front. From out of there, keep it to the left to line up Gerlach, which is surprisingly tough to be accurate with due to the blind crest. You've got no time before Hugenholtz though, and this is going to be a critical corner to get your exit right, so try not to get on the power too early. As you weave uphill through Slotemacher and turn 5, you won't be lifting, so any hesitation will make it easy for the car behind to close in on you. But don't expect out-braking maneuvers to happen into Sheavlock, because you only need a little brush of the brakes, then you're flying through this scary fast sweeper. As you let it drift out to the curb, stay hugged to the left, then stab the brakes and chuck it into Marlboro. This is where the poor visibility outside the sides of the cockpit make it tricky getting the car right up to the edge of the track coming into Renault. Mash the power once again, switch sides, and then blow it up for Vodafone. This will be another important bend to try to find speed on the exit. Be wary of climbing that inside curb too much, but get on the gas as soon as you're sure it'll stick. Over the rise, pick a reference point, aim for it, and get it lined up for the braking into Audi. This is your next best place to try to pass, but going through this odd chicane hairpin hybrid too wide is ill-advised. Drivers can easily trip over each other through here. Up next is Kumho, and with the fact that you won't be lifting until the first corner, you better believe you want to carry your speed off of here. Use the banking and really get greedy on the inside curb. Then give a nice gentle arc down to the apex of Lyndike, keep your foot planted, and drift it out onto the pit straight. Hopefully you've kept it all together and have now finished a lap around Zandvoort.
Joe Peak taking and talking us around Zandvoort. Now, full disclosure, unfortunately, it's against my religion to tolerate corners named after sponsors. So while I can let it slide occasionally, here at Zandvoort, there are just too many to spot my soul. So be advised on the advice of my priest. I will be replacing some of the corner names with ones of my own making. My apologies up front, and thank you for understanding. But there are some names that I can speak joyously, and that would be the guys that are in the Drivers and Team Championship. Let's look at the F1 driver standings. With a pair of races completed, Alex Johnson has led the lion's share of the laps. The NHR esports driver, has shared wins equally, though, with Virtual Motorsports' Dennis Garrison. The surprise of the season has been Ali Hay. The Brit has upped his game for season 15 with a second and a fifth to his credit. Now, whether it be in the past with Aero Number Tuan Tran or in the present with Alex Johnson and Dennis Garrison, there always seems to be a couple of drivers just a touch faster than David Third Degree Burns. The Two Stupid Dog driver finds himself in his familiar spot at the south side of the top five. Timo Runku is still looking for his first top five down in fifth. Let's go to the F2 driver standings. Now, what are we going to do today, Brain? Well, how about taking over the F2 world? Josh Brain sits 13th in the overall driver championship and tied with Daniel Solo. But because the F2 crowd is scored only amongst F2 drivers, the Draco Racing driver has a 3-point lead over the Go Team Racing driver. A 30-second last time out drops Camille Smollo all the way down into third. And welcome to the overlay, Lance Simon and Eric Lupel, as they join the top five. One last overlay look at, and that's the team championship, where Alec Janssen wins at Detroit and keeps his solo NHR esports team effort in the lead. David Burns and his longtime partner Vincent Breen finished second on the day for Two Stupid Dogs. Nevertheless, they stay behind another one-man team of Dennis Garrison for Virtual Motorsports. Another marriage that has stood the test of time is Tuan Tran and Bastian Hausman. TT Racing Silver now up into fourth. Rounding out the overlay is AM Racing Team, powered by fan favorite Michael Hofladezen and the Strudelmeister Thomas Kick. All right, there are your three standings. Stefan, we've talked about the track. We've gone over all the points. How about we look at the race details today?
Well, the race details are quite simple. We are today here on round 3 of 6 without a single drop that will be accounted for any of the drivers, so if you want to win this championship, you have to be there every single time. Race distance today, 60 minutes, setups are completely open, so tinker away as much as you want. Fuel is restricted to 30% of a full fuel tank, which will make this race a bit more interesting as we will have 2 stops today. Incident cap, we'll have one, it will be 24 laps, which can be a bit of an issue here as there are 2 to 3 turns where you can get that off track occasionally, so people will have to watch out here.
You know, we talked about the format. I have become a huge fan of the absolute beginner Formula Neagle format. Short seasons, no drop races. We here at GSRC, we carry schedules that are all different shapes and sizes. Some are long, some are short, some with no drops, some with lots of drop races. I like this one. Come on in. If you can show up for 6 races, you get a chance at it. And then, Stefan, they wipe the slate clean and we start again. Looking there at Timo Runku. Well, this is a time lap. Unlike a lot of draft tracks, this qualifying is going to be important here. You don't want to be too far back. Passing, while there are passing opportunities, like Stefan said, you don't want to find yourself too far back in the field, have to work too hard.
Passing zones, there are a lot, as I have already said. But the thing is, you have to have quite a bit of a run to make the overtake happen. It is possible, but you really have to work for these overtakes. So if you're a fast guy that has a bad qualifying, then you really have to work really hard to get back up where you would normally belong. But racing is always great here, especially with cars like these, because they have a lot of downforce, so you can go faster through turns than you normally would.
Talk about a fast guy that was having a bad qualifying. That was Dennis Garrison. He was down in about 11th position until, boom, he put in a 132.2 and is now at the top. His competitor, Alex Johnson, sitting in third. Looking at the man who is at the top tentatively for the pole and in second in the points.
Runke so far has not put in a lap yet in those 6 minutes so far, but he is right now coming up to the second last turn. So that will be interesting where he will get there. In practice, he was second fastest, a 10th behind Jensen. So that's going to be interesting where he will put his car for his first time lap.
That car we were looking at that Garrison was behind, there comes Ronkud right there, was the Strudel Michael Thomas kick. How did Ronkud do as he comes across?
Didn't count.
I don't think that one's going to count. Uh-oh. All right, now we talked about David Burns. He has been around for season after season after season. Doesn't have a championship yet, but always seems to finish third, fourth, fifth in the standings. And every time he thinks he maybe has a chance with the departure of like a multi-time champion Errol Noom, somebody else comes in. Alex Janssen picks up his game. Darius Garrison shows up, and once again, David finds himself in his familiar spot. Right now, he's sitting fifth.
It is always the same, be it sim racing or real life racing. You are the second big force in the league. The first force runs away, and then suddenly you're having so much pressure that you just can't deliver and win the championship.
Burns not able to move on that lap, still sitting in fifth. Josh Brain just had an off, put it in the wall. Josh is the leader of our AM championship. There's a newcomer. What we're looking at there. Christian, what we'll go with here? Gruel, is that what we go with there on that one?
Groile. That
Groile.
would be for German.
Thank you. Thank you.
Speaking about another newcomer, as Runke puts in the 8th fastest lap so far, we have I Am Keyman, who I have not seen this season yet, and he has put in a 4th place as of right now, just 500th of a second away from Jensen.
And of course, on the heels of me being corrected in my pronunciation there with Christian Groile, we invite you all to play the GSRC commentator consumption game. We recommend you do it with a non-alcoholic beverage, though. But every time the lead commentator butchers the pronunciation of one of these European names, go ahead, take a sip. Ollie Cueca. Good run from him, sitting in 6th.
Yes, Ollie, a very good run, and we have to say, in total, there isn't really a single guy who hasn't been able to improve so far from his practice lap, so everyone really shows how important it is here to qualify on this track. Oh, Cueca, oh, nearly spinning there.
There we have Ollie. Another driver having a good run is, as we look at Cueca, is I Am Keyman, a new name to the series, sitting in 5th. Gonna look there. There's Cueca. There's I Am. I Am apparently grew up in a very poor family. His parents could not afford actually a full name. They had to save money and just use initials. Keyman coming across. If I were him, I'd put apostrophe between the I and the M to say, I'm Keyman. Take a look at Floris Bashar. Sitting 11th. Florence, very busy weekend doing some cross-pollination as he also races in the Battery Not Included series here on GSRC, racing in the Williams. Little more powerful than this Renault 2.0.
One thing we have to point out here real quick, Renke is right now just in 10th place. In front of him, Hay in 9th. They really are not racing or qualifying to their best performance right now.
We talked about Hay. He has certainly been overachieving as he sits 3rd in the points. Ronku in there as well, sitting in 5th. Is this going to be a time for him? Oh, no, that's Cueca who got into 6th. That's where he was sitting before.
Rönke did improve, but only by a tiny little bit and stays in 10th.
With a few minutes left in qualifying, why don't we take a look? Oh, my goodness, as Flores Bashar slaps the wall with the left side of his car. Let's take a look at the weather. Maybe that has something to do with Flores' problem there. What do we see there, Stefan, when we bring that up? There we go.
Yeah, we have a bit of a hotter track today, 95 Fahrenheit, which is a bit of a concern for the tires here in the Formula Renault 2.0. Winds we have from the south, 8 miles an hour, so that is blowing from turn 1, so that can play a big difference in draft here. And yeah, we have a clear sky too, so that obviously explains how hot this track is. But apart from that, they will have to watch for their tires. But yeah, they will have no problems with that since we have pit stops.
GSRC being an American-based company, we give that weather there in Fahrenheit, even though we probably only have a sprinkling of American drivers here. Most of the drivers racing in Europe. And qualifying is just about done. So with that said, and the standing start, let's hustle our way through the starting grid. We'll take the first 10, will be me. And it is our points leader, Alex Johnson. He was able to get in front of Dennis Garrison, but they said 1-2 on the front row. David Burns and Tom Van Hoym, a good run from him in fourth. I am Keeman and Ollie Koika make up row 3. Michael Hofladezen, David Butelaar go 7th and 8th. 9th and 10th, Ali Hay, Timo Boyd.
Floris Bieshar and Piers Cocky sit in row number 6, 2 and Tran, Vincent Graham and Josh Brain round out our top 15 drivers. Johan van den Belt 16th, Wojciech Podacek in 17th, Bastian Huisman is 18th, and our top 20 round out Vincenzo Raya and Sean O'Malley.
Hendrik Kamara, hidden blackjack, doubled up spot goes to Leopardo Violet. 23rd is the Strudel Michael Thomas kick. Christian Grele. Let's help me out on that one again. I'm going to learn this one. In 24th, Grele? Royle. There we go. Got to hustle now, Soup. Daniel Solo and Eric Leukel go 25th and 26th. Neil Bambi in 27th position. Paulo Prado in 28th. 29th and 30th is John Steppenpol and Elmer Notebaum. Stefan?
The last 5 cars are Matt Carballo, Rob Hobb, Alejandro Leiro, and Paul Burt. Paul Burt being the last car to qualify. Richard Columb, 35th, our last car on the grid.
All right, well, commentators going to get their GSRC bonus for getting through the starting grid before they go green. 35 names. Go ahead.
Richard Columb, he is not even in the session, so we'll have 34 cars taking green flag.
34. They all put in qualifying times. Interestingly enough, only 32 of them actually put in some practice. Rob Hopp and Alejandro Liero got here late, but they were able to qualify. They're down in 32nd and 33rd. You can hear the engines start to harmonize now. You know what to do. Round number 3, Formula Neagle. Gather up the chicken steak covering of the cows. The horses are out of the barn, and it is the Swede with speed, Alex Johnson, leading Dennis Garrison down into the first corner. He is being challenged by David Burns. They are 3 wide behind them, getting the best of it, popping out of the 3 wide. Ollie Quaker moves up into 4th, running out to top 5, Tom Van Hoyman.
Very civilized start so far, nothing to report from the back.
Oh, Tuan Tran went off. He nosed it in the wall. He brings it back out on track in front of traffic. Does a good job of staying out of the way. Another spinner. All in the back.
That was Christian Greule there spinning out of turn 3. And we have another spinner. Yeah. Who was that?
I am Keeman got turned. Mikkel Hofladezen. Keeman was in 5th position at the time. That's maybe the one we'll want to come back and take a look at because he was so far up once things settled down. My goodness, Keeman was in 5th. Hofladezen got alongside of him. Meanwhile, up in front for 3rd position, there is a battle now. Ollie Quaker is on the move. He started in 5th position, and he's trying to move his way up. He's side by side, along with, that would be David Burns. Quaker gets the momentum on the outside. Move him up to 3rd.
And while we were watching that, Rönke with quite some problems in the last 3 turns, dropping several positions from his starting grid position. Oh, is a spin in front of him. That's Pierce Cocky spinning.
Another big name. Cocky was racing in 12th position. He goes way to the back. They complete lap number 1. Down into Tarzan now. It's Janssen and Garrison. Those have been the 2 stars for the first 2 rounds. They're right where they should be. Ali Koika, the guy who's on the move, up into sad news was for I.M. Keenan as Keenan got in it with Hofladezen. Looks like Keenan's race, he is done. No fast repairs here in the Absolute Beginner League. Big boy racing. Now look at Koika. Koika has pulled away. The battle now is 4th. This is Hofladezen and Van Hooyman. Hofladezen in the white car. Van Hooyman in the, let's call it a light blue, purple machine. Thank you, director.
I don't know if we actually saw this, but David Burns, he had a big problem in turn 1, and that's why he lost 4 positions in total here.
Oh, Hofladezen loses that spot. A great pass from Van Hooyman. Hay watching on. David Burns, Jeff Burns was up in 4th position. Good catch on that one, Steph, and he is now back in 9th. He's got the yellow car of Ronku right behind him. Right off the back of David Third Degree Burns. Things settling down a little bit. Janssen beginning to distance himself a little bit from Garrison. I am really impressed by the job that our 3rd place driver is doing. Ali Koika. He's actually beginning to chop off a little bit of the run, a little bit of the interval between Garrison and Koika.
Yes, Ollie, starting in 6th, already up to 3rd. He really shows that he belongs into this series.
Yeah. In fact, look at him gain. Koika now right behind Garrison by less than a second.
I think Garrison picked up a slowdown there as he was really slow coming off that hairpin. And the turn before the hairpin, you can actually get quite an extensive amount of slowdown there. So I'm gonna guess he took that a bit too much.
They've negotiated Hansrud now. They're heading there down into Lyondike, the final corner, as they'll be completing lap number 3. Nice little battle back here in 13 between Vucic Potacek, Bastian Hausman, and Josh Brain. Of course, Brain, the AM leader. Look at this. Here comes the battle. Huisman trying to go on the outside through Tarzan. Oh, boy, he makes it stick, but he's still going to be on the outside.
Well,
as they go through Burlock. Now he'll have the preferred position. Gets it done. Go ahead.
Huisman was very lucky there as he caught the grass and had a big wobble there alongside with Potacek. But obviously Huisman very, very excited here, racing at his home track.
Let's stay on this battle.
Zandvoort.
And this is a good one. True seat lock. Now down into the 3 corners that I'm calling for today. We're calling this one Bach. Heading down into Mozart. And then finally Hausman will come in honor of the Dutch composer, Van Beethoven. Boy. Hausman
Oops, spin in front. That's Vincent Bream.
Yeah. Bream lost that one. Bream was in 12th. By the time he gets this thing going, he's going to be back in about 26th. Let's take a peek at this one. Stefan, what do you see?
I see quite a lot of on-throttle oversteer there from Vincent Bream. as I think he caught the curb too
Yep.
and spins it around.
Good news, no wall, no curbing, so the car should be okay. We come back live. Our leader has opened up now almost a 3-second gap over Dennis Garrison. The interesting fight is the driver in third, Ali Cuoca, doing his best to get on the back of Garrison. Remember, 2 stops though, fans. So it's all a little bit of a chess game right now. Right off the back of Garrison, sitting second in the points, second in the standings currently.
Bizarre is in the pits. Bizarre in the pits. What happened to him?
Well, this could be scheduled. There's a pretty big window.
Oh no, he beached it at turn 3 on the big inside curb. Wasn't able to get off it with the differential and yeah, had to sadly tow it.
Let's go to 4th position real quick and run down some of the guys in the back half of the top 10. Now remember, Tom Van Hoymem was able to make that pass on Mikael Hofladezen. Well, Ali Hay also got around him as well. So Hofladezen now has gone back into 6th spot. He's got about 1 second back till we get to the French driver, David Boutelar. But then there's a real good battle for 8th. If we drop back, this is Burns. Remember, Burns had that spin? Burns and Ronku, they continue to race nose to tail. Burns in the lead car, the darker shade, kind of a black and gray machine. Ronku behind in the citrus flavored machine. That battle, you want to talk about a hard charger? How about the guy who just showed up on the AM Championship? Let's go back to 16th position. This would be Eric Luke. He's our hard charger today. And he's not done. This is a nice battle. Lukel is up from 10 spots, from 26. And look at this battle for 14th in front of him. A couple newcomers. Vincenzo Ria being chased by Leopoldo Ariali.
They are newcomers, but they know how to race against each other. Quite an extensive battle already, as Vincenzo very deep there onto the turn. And getting an off track there, I'm pretty sure about it.
Yeah, this is a good one we can follow throughout the race, because not only behind Lukel, John Morgan is in this mix, Hendrik Kamara, and Bambi, Neil Bamber back there in 19th.
As, Variale is going for the overtake there into turn 1, and he got him.
And he's going to lose a lot of momentum, and that's going to open the door for Lukel if he wants it. Lukel has looking to the left, looking to the right, going to have to wait.
This now obviously also brings in John Morgan and Hendrik Kamara behind them.
Good battle. As typical in the absolute beginner Formula Neagle, good racing throughout the field. Boy, those two continue to go at it.
Vincenzo quite deep there into Shivlak, so but not enough for Eric there.
We'll go to 22nd position. This is a Matt Cabreo and Vincent Brame. Brame with a little bit of a run. We ride on board with Cabreo, looking back at Brame. Brame, of course, racing with Two Stupid Dogs, a teammate of David Third Degree Burns. Oh, Brame, not a good exit through that corner. Going to lose a little bit of time. Matt Cabrera out there racing in the Planet Express machine. Good fighting going on here.
Good fighting throughout the field right now, as the cars in front are getting closer and closer together, as Raya is not doing anything into turn 1, so we can stay on this battle. Let's see if Bream can do anything here into turn 1.
Gonna have to try it around the outside.
Oh!
Oh, they touch! Oh no! And
Heavy.
honestly, yeah, it was Cabrillo could not hold the tight line. You know, they pay us to have an opinion, and Matt just got to keep the car to the inside. At least that's what I saw, Stefan.
Oh, it's Matt really, he outbraked himself by quite a bit, and yeah.
Yeah. Bream left him room on the inside. Cabrillo still racing. He's back in 24th.
Solo nearly ran into the back of Carvalho there.
Nothing much going on in front. Yeah, you can see that Cabrillo's car's not healthy. We'll go back and that's Juan Trandrager around him. Let's go back in and check on second position because this is heating up. In fact, it might be really scorching hot. Here comes a pass. Oh my goodness, I thought Cuolca was gonna make a move on this one. Look at how he's got on the back of Garrison now. We knew he was coming. Stefan, he's here.
He is here, and he wants that second place from you. And he's not gonna take no for an answer. As by the way, we also have Wisman, Bastian Wisman, the first taker on the pits.
We'll see how that shakes out. We'll continue to watch this battle for second here for a minute because I think Cuolca would really like to get around here. These guys have fallen 3.5 seconds behind Janssen. With this being a 60-minute race, Stefan, I would imagine lap traffic going to be a factor.
It depends. I think this time around we were super close in times throughout the field, so we won't see too much. But if we're gonna see traffic, it's probably gonna be quite bunched together.
I can report that Hofladeson was... Oh, let's go back to 5th position right now because I think he's going to take a shot at... This is Hofladeson and then Heumann. Oh, my goodness! There's some interesting racecraft by the car in front of Hofladeson. A little bit of a weave. As he's able to fend off Van Heumann. All that nonsense is bringing David Boutelar in there. Here comes Van Heumann again, looking to get it on the outside. Now he'll have preferred position through this twisty section, but it's a right-hander as they come up to this corner. Boy, look at Van Heumann all over the back of Hofladeson. Boutelar now getting closer and closer, back in 7th position. That yellow car you see at the very back, that's Ronku. He was able to get around Burns. Remember, Burns had that spin. Ronku was behind him. Ronku has got that spot. Burns back to 9th.
Heumann took a bit of too much of the curb at Masters Corner, turn 7. So Heumann now carries some right front wing damage with him.
Because we're going to see if we can take a peek. Oh, there's a look at it. And while that's going on, the battle continues for second. Oh my goodness. Cuolca took a peek going into Tarzan. He is all over the back of Garrison. He had a shot at it. He was side by side with Garrison. Couldn't get the pass finished. Down into Tarzan. I got a feeling this time around he's going to do it. We can afford to stay on for this one for a minute. This is for second. These guys continue to lose ground to Janssen. There they work their way through Marlboro, Renault, and now through Vodafone. That hurt my soul to say those words.
Even though you're using the old names of this track.
Oh, are they no longer there? Vodafone is no longer a corner name?
No, they have changed names in 2013, I think, when
Hallelujah!
they took over.
Okay. I gotta learn those so I don't have to worry about my eternal damnation. Okay, here comes the pass. Garrison doesn't have a great run out of Lyondike. Look at the run here. He's going to get to the inside. I think he's going to get it. I thought it was coming. And can he finish the job? No. Look at that. But he can hang in there long, and he cannot.
This is the joy of turn 1. It is so highly banked that even on the outside, you can carry quite some extensive amount of speed through that turn, so you can really defend your position very well there.
Poor Ollie. The lap before this, when he tried it on the outside, had the same results as when he tried it on the inside. This is a fun one now. Look at Buttelar and Hoyman.
Yes, Hoyman is hurting quite a lot there with his damaged wing, and Buttelar's teammate was just gliding past him.
Yeah. But I think next up is going to be Ronku. He's coming as well. Still waiting for any of the big names to come in and make a stop. My timing and scoring shows Bastian Hausmann in 22nd as the leader of all the cars who pitted. I'm going to jump back to 13th position. This is that train that we used to be watching. It's not quite as close as it was before. Raleigh up in front. Rea behind him in 14th. Morgan and Lukel. Kamara and Bamber still in shouting position. All right, back to 2. Back up to our second position again. Let's watch. This will be good as they head down into the final corner one more time. We'll see how that plays out. He's in good position. See if he forces the issue here.
Let's see if Quokka can get a good run out of turn 9 corner Sondernam, then we will see something happening into turn 10, and Quokka got a good run there.
He sure did. It didn't work into Tarzan. Let's see what happens if we try it here. This is going to work.
There we go.
Give Ollie second position. Boy, he worked on that one. He tried several different ways to do it. Well, now he's got 4.2 seconds up to the leader. We'll watch that. We'll see how fast he was.
The question is, what can Quokka do now, as you said?
Yep.
But also, which is really good now for Jönsson, because he now has his teammate as a buffer between himself and Garrison.
Potocek has had a problem.
Oh, into Hans Ernst corner. Just too much speed there and losing it because of that. Manages to not hit the wall there, as you can see. Spins around and off he goes again.
As we come back live, Potocek, a veteran of the series, was around in the very early days, the Virgin's rounds, the very first seasons. Took a little break. He's back with us now. Let's go to second again. This is not over. I thought that Quokka was going to be able to pull away. He has not, and Garrison is fighting him.
Two very different lines there through turn 9.
One early entry, one very late entry.
And also one thing we have to point out, we have 2 cars coming up now. Sorry, that's just one car, Caballo, who already got lapped by Alex Jönsson.
Yeah, Jönsson got around, and remember, Caballo is the guy with the injured wing. I don't think that Garrison is going to be close enough out of Lyondike to make a shot down into Tarzan. Stefan, what kind of downforce? Is this a heavy downforce track? Do you go light downforce so you're faster? What do you think?
In my early days when I was still racing Formula Renault 2.0 all the time, I was running high downforce. But it's one of those tracks where it really depends on your driving style, what you use. You can make a low downforce work and a high downforce work.
We look at this battle, and again, Garrison working both sides of the street like a jaywalking mailman trying to find his way around Quokka.
Alright, now it counts turn 8, turn 9, Namlos corner, and corner Sander Nam. What can Garrison do here? Good exit out of turn 8. What do we see here, turn 9? Caballo in front can play a role here into turn 10 for Quokka. Let's see.
Are they going to get to him before they get to the straightaway? I think they certainly are.
Especially when he makes such a mistake into turn 10, which makes him vulnerable into turn 11. And it seems like the Quokka will get backed up into Garrison.
Yeah. Rail just keeping the racing line. Now he's going to stay to the inside. The question is Garrison going to get to him before Tarzan? A little bit of a lift here might be in order, Matt. There you left one by. And Garrison had to take a slow line through. So that's going to break those guys up for a while. Oh, big name. Mikkel Hofladeson has come in. He was racing in 6th when he came in.
And he already was in the pit lane. And he is coming past start finish now. So Hofladeson takes over the lead of the pitted.
Okay, Hofladeson is out. Sorted out in 8th position. Hay is still in 10th. They have John Morgan between them, but Morgan still needs to make that first stop. Oh, let's go back in and check in on another battle. We'll go to 4th position. You know what? We knew that citrus-flavored car was coming. Ronku now. He did get Heumann. That's the good news. The bad news, 7.5 seconds up to Garrison.
I have the feeling that something happened to Buitelar before his pit stop, because Buitelar is right now sitting in 12th, 30 seconds behind these two. So something had to happen there.
Well, his pit stop was okay. He was right in there, but yeah, he must have had an issue, a slowdown penalty or a spin that we missed. Okay, we have pit stops now from the guys up front. Quokka is out. Garrison behind him. Janssen took his stop as well, and I believe everybody now has made their stop. Brain, Bamber, Morgan, Prado all coming in. So
yes,
what we'll do when things... Go ahead.
Everyone has made their pits, so that was obviously the last lap that people were able to pit. So we're now indeed 27 minutes in, so it's going to be interesting for the last stop, actually, because that will be just a splash and dash.
Which they can take any time. They don't have to wait to the end. They could take it right now if they feel like it, maybe if they get into traffic. What? And we'll look at this battle for 7th position. This is a good one. This is Hoyman and Hofladezen. Boy, once again, those two have seemed to find each other.
And by the way, I was able to identify the problem for Boitila, who is now in front of them. He had a very big moment out of 7, where he lost a couple of positions in a few seconds, but his charge back after his pit stop, obviously very well, as he is in front of Hoyman now.
Let's go ahead and stay on this battle for a little while, and then what we'll do, folks, is we'll give you a rundown, as we have, looks like 22 cars on the lead lap. Not sure if we'll be able to get all 22, but we'll run you through the field, tell you how your favorite driver is doing. Let's give Hofladezen another little bit to get through here. Boy, these two are evenly matched. We like 12th position better, and this is a Kamara side by side for 13th. They just made a move on John Morgan. I'm sorry, on John Morgan. They continue to fight. This all going behind Eric Luke.
Oh, Morgan off track.
Oh, Morgan make a mistake. That's going to allow Neil Bamber to get a position. Our director had spidey sense on that one. Took us right back there, right in time. So here's how that played out. Eric Luke now in 12th. Henrik Kamara in 13th, Bamber in 14th. John Morgan came out the worst for wear there back in 5th. Let's go back and check back in on Van Hoyman and Hofladezen. Oh, a little bit of, I thought, yeah, I think he did make a mistake. Let's see if Hofladezen can get him. Nope, he's going to have to wait. Look at this. He's got to run. Let's see what type of line Hoyman takes. Hoyman's going to move over to the inside. Hofladezen gets right up on his gearbox and swings to the outside. Going to try to use the banking. He'll have to wait.
He tried to force the over and under, but it just didn't work, as Hoyman very, very bravely on the brakes and makes his car stop in time for turn 1.
Stay on it. This is a good pedal. Not much happening elsewhere. Hofladezen, always an exciting driver. Look, he's going to make the move here. They're side by side.
Oh, Hoyman has to be careful here.
Yep. Now they head down into corner 7 through 8, and Hofladezen has it, but he's going to go wide. Coming back. Nope. All right. Mikel has the lead. Now let's see if he can keep it. Let's go ahead. We're going to jump back into 20th position. Another one of the AM drivers. This is Daniel Solo, ahead of a veteran, Tuan Tran. Looks like Solo, though, has the legs. Tuan Tran was just dominant when the Formula Neagle raced in the Skippy. His talents have not translated well into this higher-powered Formula Renault.
They are quite different to drive.
A mistake from Solo, and that's going to let the Season 6 champion of Tuan Tran try to make a pass on the outside. He's going to have the momentum. He'll be in the preferred position here. He should be able to finish it out. They go through the S's. Did they touch? They do not. The momentum from the outside from Tran. And I think he's got it, and I think he'll pull away now. Don't tell me, Soup, that my talents haven't translated over. That's how you make a pass in this car. Nice job, Tuan.
But Solo now with the draft.
He's
Here he
fighting
comes.
back. Oh, he can't do it. But he's still there. This is a good one.
Not quite enough of an overlap there to stay alongside him for turn 3 and has to settle for 21st.
Stefan, does the draft keep you in? It seems like there's so much twisty section that the draft wouldn't play that big of a factor, but it seems like it's hard for some drivers to pull away. He's coming back on him again.
Yes, you have obviously, even though it is a bit twisty, the twisty sections aren't that fast, so downforce doesn't really make a difference. So the draft always will keep a battle closer together as long as the lap time difference isn't all that big between the cars.
We're going to leave that when we're going to go to this battle here for 13th. This is again Loikel, Kamara, Bamber, and Morgan. Remember, Morgan was farther up in this train, and then he made a mistake. They all went by him. John trying to get that spot back on Bambi. The final 2 cars in the train. There we are. We're looking at the driver in 13th. This is Kamara working on Loikel. And now this one has heated up. Bamber was able to fend off Morgan. Let's stay on this battle for 12th. There are other battles. We're going to have to get to one here pretty soon as Ronku and Hay are in a nice one, but let's stay on this for a minute. And honestly, we're not going to take you through the field. We're just going to kind of drop in and spotlight the field for you. Here it comes right now. Oh my goodness. Hay had a run on Ronku into Tarzan, decided to wait.
Yes, that was a bit interesting there. Ronku, he was driving down the middle of the straight, not really defending, but somewhat defending. And he didn't really want to take the risk on the inside, so he stayed behind there for turn 1. But now he comes up to turn 6, Scheiflag. Let's see if we can do something here on the outside. No, we can't.
And not did it done. Put on your dancing shoes, viewers, because we're going to boogie through this field a little bit. There are battles going on all over the place. We're looking at this battle for 4th. Oh, my goodness. That's going to cool off now as Halle Hay took it in deeper than Confucius in a submarine. Got him woed up, though. So with that cooling off, let's go up to 2nd, because look who's back here. Woka and Garrison. These guys are 13 seconds back of Janssen. Go ahead.
Not giving up on his 2nd place yet. There's still about 24 minutes to go on this race. 25 actually, sorry. Yeah, there's still a lot of room that can, where Dennis can make something happen here on Walker. He just has to stay behind and maybe save a little bit of fuel.
I'm going to give you an interesting number. Garrison was in his pit box for 7.8 seconds. Ronku only for 5.7. That's a difference of 2 seconds. That's a lot of fuel when it comes to these Formula Renaults because they feel so fast. Maybe Garrison made a mistake, or maybe everybody else just kind of short-filled a little bit. They might have to take a little bit more on their splash and go, maybe a little more splashy.
It could very well be that Garrison just missed his pit stall slightly. So it is hard to say what really happened there in the pit stop.
I would say that's probably the case because as I look at all the other times, they're all right between 4.5 and 5.5 seconds. So I would think Ronku's in the ballpark of everybody else. Harrison just had a slow one. Another good battle to look at is back here for 9th. We haven't talked about this too much. My broadcast partner in the MX-5 World Tour, Johan Vanderbilt, just sat next to me yesterday. He's in a battle for 9th with David Burns. Boy, these guys are veterans. They have raced mile after mile after mile together. I guarantee they will not get together. The fan belt, Johan Vanderbilt. David. Third-degree burns. Vanderbilt started in 16th. He's up 7 spots. It's the mirror image for David Burns, who's down 7 spots, started in 3rd, now in 10th. Burns working him. Oh, my goodness. Vanderbilt weaving like a loom back and forth. David coming on the outside. Let's see if that banking holds up through Tarzan. Will not. That was fun.
Weaving more than a president coming out of his plane. Vanderbilt, a bit too much moving there on the defense, from my point of view, but nothing happened, so on they go.
We're gonna go to P2. My goodness, Garrison is all over the gearbox's Quokka.
And once again, they're running up to Matt Carvalho to lap him. For I think that's the second time. Yes, it is.
Carvalho just out there, what we like to call the Dory Award. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. If you've seen Finding Nemo, you know what we're talking about.
And once again, the exact same situation,
Yep.
but this time the other way around. Walker getting held up there.
Now, last time this happened, one car got through before Tarzan and the other one didn't. Oh, look at this. I think he's learned his lesson. In fact, he's going to come into pit lane. Well, that's one way to get out of the way. 14 seconds back of, you remember him? Alex Janssen. I guess our contract calls for us to put the camera on the leader every once in a while. What can we comment about Alex right now? Pretty car.
Dominant?
Yeah. We talked about it. He has led 77 out of a possible 80 laps coming into this race. And he's led all of these 25 for 25. But here's the beauty, folks. Keep tuning in because there are no drop races. That means one mistake, one back marker making a bad decision, one bad downshift, and Janssen's season goes up in smoke.
Yes, with no drop weeks, every little mistake that ends your race has a huge impact onto your season.
And with only 6 race schedule, there's no time to come back. That's the beauty of this one. Let's go to 7th position. These guys continue to fight. Hoffler, Dazen, and Hoyman. They would have merited their own race broadcast just between them. They have been together. And Van Hoyman is going to lose ground again, but he's faster. So
right behind them, we also have still the battle between David Burns and Johan van der Belt. And coming up onto the start-finish straight now.
Let's stay on as Burns might have a bit of a toe. It's going to be a little late if he wants to make a dive bomb into Tarzan. Not really Burns' style.
Not really Burns' style, but we would be on the perfect track for that, as it is owned by Jos Verstappen.
There you go. How about 12th, Director? We're going to jump you around. This is Lucal and Kamara. Boy, there are good little two-car little duets throughout the entire field, ladies and gentlemen. It's just hard to cover them all. This is a great one. John Morgan behind him, looking on in the popcorn position.
One little mistake and John Morgan will be there and probably passed already. So they really have to be careful what they do with their battle.
Good racing throughout the field. Everybody has somebody to race. Hard to find somebody who's alone right now. Everybody has a dancing partner.
Well, dancing alone isn't as fun as dancing with someone else.
That's good point.
Yes.
Here's we're going to show you a couple drivers who are alone. Alejandro Liero in 18th position all by himself. Let's quickly jump up to 11th and let's look at Josh Brain. He's by himself as well. And why do we care about him? Well, he's leading that AM championship.
As I can report, Buitelar and Burns once again, the two cars first to take their pit stops.
Okay. Buitelar is out first. Burns just coming in. Buitelar cycles out in 10th. Burns coming out. And who do you think Buitelar cycles out behind? Well, it's Matt Cabrillo. Boy, Cabrillo has just been... Matt's doing a good job, though, getting out of the way. Only one lap down in 23rd. That kind of maize-colored car up in front. You see it a speck in the screen there. That's... Go ahead.
Carvalho is also the last car that is racing so far in 23rd. So he is really hanging on with dear life there.
Yeah. Only one lap down, waiting for somebody to have a problem, and he can pick a few mud. Mikhail Hoff, oh, there's a little bit of a contact. Hoffladaisen got together with Tom Van Hooyman. It was bound to happen.
Oh.
You can only dance the tango in a china shop so long before you break some porcelain, and that's what happened here. Van Hooyman on the inside. Hoffladaisen, the white car on the outside.
Our Icelandic friend there, turning in a bit too early there for Tom Van Hooyman and leaving him no space, and off he goes.
Let's go to second. This is really heating up right now as we come back live. I think maybe Garrison, as close as he's been, as he's right on the left reel of Kuoka, but he cannot get Kuoka. Oh my
Garrison,
gosh,
second time in a row, he tries it into Scheiflag and once again, not succeeding.
So he has that passing though. Then he has another shot down here into the Audi S. But he's going to be too far back. 16 seconds back of Janssen, our leader.
As Janssen right now crossed the finish line, that gives you a bit of perspective of how much 16 seconds are on this racetrack.
Yeah. And as those two battle, that battle that we're looking there, right on the...
Garrison in.
Garrison in. Okay, that's one way to do it, Stefan. That's how I'll pass you.
Very interesting choice there by Garrison, obviously with just a splash and dash coming up now for him. Will be interesting where he will be able to cycle out, obviously taking over the lead for the already pit cars.
Yeah, the question is he going to come out in traffic? Will he have a better stop than he had the first time? Pretty good stop. He's going to come out in front.
He came out in front of Alistair Hayter.
Yeah. He's got Johan Vandervelde in front of him, but that's a ways ahead.
Yeah, 4.2 seconds there of pit stop time there for Garrison. So it's a bit more than just a splash and dash for him.
Remember his first pit stop was an issue as well, so we'll see how that plays out. Drop in on 15th position. Our directors found some fun. It looks like Kamara's not gonna be able to hang in there. That's Alejandro Liero in 15th spot, being challenged by Kamara. Okay,
Kuoka is also now in.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pick up Garrison as Kuoka comes in. This will be the battle for second. Really a battle of pit lane. Garrison, Stefan wasn't able to get around him on the track. Let's see if he was able to beat him in the pit lane.
Well, we're gonna find out now as Kuoka has stopped now. 4.4 seconds standing there. That's a bit of a longer time there than Garrison. Garrison coming up now. But
I think he's gonna get him. No! Right back where it was. Well, that didn't work.
Garrison with a bit of a slower lap time out of the pits. Otherwise, he might have been there to challenge Quokka for second place. But Quokka obviously now with a bit colder tires than Garrison. Into Scheifler, they go for a third consecutive time side by side. But once again, Garrison not able to do anything into the turn.
Oh, but he's really good here. Look at the drive he gets off. The defensive line again from Quokka. Right on his gearbox's Garrison. There is a chance if he can get a good run out of this left-hand hairpin coming up right here. Drive down into the S. Let's see how he does. Oh, but he falls back.
Not close enough for Hans Ernst. Corner there. Once again has to settle for third place. Johan Vanderbilt obviously in front of them.
Yeah, they're running down Vanderbilt 1.7 up. Vanderbilt still needs to make his stop. And now those tires, Quokka's tires should be heated up by now. They should be feeling better. And they have no attack.
It is a bit interesting. Garrison always drops off a tiny little bit out of Hans Ernst and the following two turns. So, yeah, Garrison really struggling in those last three turns to stay on the rear of Quokka.
As we look at this, I don't need to go there, but I just want to verbally talk about it. There's a driver we can't forget about racing in second, Timo Ronku. He was only 1.3 seconds behind Garrison when Garrison decided to make his pit stop. So there's a chance that Ronku could maybe not leapfrog these guys, but at least get into the mix.
Well, he was a full second faster than Garrison last lap around, so Ronku, he has the chance to leapfrog them.
Yeah, I can report Tuan Tran just had an off. His day is done. Our leader is in, and no, I'm sorry, he has yet to make the stop. He was just getting around Neil Bamber, who came out of pit lane.
Let's see, Ronku opts to stay out for another lap. Last lap, a 32.8. He is right now out there our fastest driver.
Ah. There he is, all by himself. He just got around the lap car, and he did it easily of Daniel
Actually, we have to go back to Quokka and Garrison as they are now side by side.
Can he get it done this time? Indeed. Boy, look at Quokka pushing Garrison all the way to the outside, around through Tarzan, trying to get the momentum on the outside. It hasn't worked before. This is the closest he has been. They continue to race wheel to wheel. They touch!
Oh.
I don't think any damage.
Wheel banging there, but quietly no damage and no wheel locking between the two.
Nope. Boy, but Garrison has a run again. He's going to look, but there's no place to put the car. This is good. This is good for Quokka as he's out in front, but this is really good for Timo Ronku. They come up behind Johan Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's been out there for a while. Racing in fourth, still needs to make a stop. Vanderbilt's fast, but not as fast as the guys that are coming.
As I can report, Alex Jönsson is now in the pit lane, so Timo Ronku probably also is gonna pit this lap round. So this will be very spicy now. As indeed Ronku comes in.
He is coming in. Well, I tell you, Jönsson does not give up the lead easily. He races
big problems now for Quokka as they have now caught Johan Vanderbilt, holding them up.
All this going on with Ronku in pit lane. Ronku has found his box. We'll stay on it. Look at this. This is a great battle here.
Ronku off. There they come.
He got him. He's out in front.
And Ronku leapfrogs them.
Yep. And the pass now behind cannot be done. They continue to fight. Look at that. Timo. Woohoo. These guys got to be shaking their heads.
Timo coming from 10th to take second on the second pit stop. Nobody saw that coming but him.
Well done. Now let's see what he can do on this out lap. Now Ollie has to look both ahead and behind. Boy, he gets right in there. He's going to have to check up a little bit. This actually might be easier for Garrison to make this pass now with Ronku in front. There are a lot of fights all through the track. Throughout the field, there are great two-car battles, but this is the one we're going to stay on. It's a battle for second between drivers that are all up into the points championship. And it is just darn exciting.
And we have to say they are fighting for the title best of the rest that way around. And yeah, it's just interesting. Dennis, if I remember right, he's our point leader. So yeah, it's interesting of what you do now. Do you want to take the risk and take more points, or do you take a fourth place and not risk any injury?
Yeah, well, Garrison actually second in points behind Janssen, but yes, but here's the deal. There's not heavily weighted for winning, so even though Janssen's going to get a win, he's not going to open up that much more of a gap on these guys to the point where Janssen will be able to afford a disaster. So these guys are still, what's most important, that they bring it home clean. Ronku beginning to open it up a bit. I hope he comes in and talk to us. I'd love to talk to Timo, see why this one. Look, here comes the move. Garrison trying everything. This is the first time he had position. Nope.
Taking the inside line at Master's Corner is very tricky and mostly the slower line there through. So yeah, not surprised that Dennis didn't want to take any risk there.
My gut tells me that Garrison is faster than Cuoca right now. Gotta be getting a little frustrated.
The thing also here is that they now allow Timo to just run away with the second place. The more they fight, the more Timo is able to run away from them, already having opened up a gap of about a second on Ollie.
We're going to leave that, go back to 14th position. We haven't talked about these drivers too much. This is Paulo Pareto. He's ahead of Neil Bamber. Pareto started in 28th position, has cut that in half. Bamber just one spot ahead of him in 27th. These guys have been close the entire race. Continue to look at that battle. That's a good one as he's going. There comes. Going to make the move on the inside. And let's give the spot. Nice pass. All right, with that done, we better check back in on third position again. He's trying. Garrison, Dennis is trying everything he can. Maybe a mistake there from Cuoca as he went a little bit wide. Garrison now going to try it here. Nope.
Garrison with the run now into Hans Ernst corner. Trying to take the inside there. Obviously the preferred line for this turn. Let's see if it makes it happen. No. Just breaks early there. And Cuoca able to break later and hold the position.
Cuoca, I'll tell you right now, he is a kidney stone, man. He is hard to pass as he's got Garrison all over the back of him. Oh, I like this run, though. I like what I see here. This is the closest I've seen him. He should be able to get it. He's got the inside. He goes. Go ahead, Steph. Look at he gives enough room. Now he's got the preferred spot. Can he get a drive off of here? No! Oh, jeez.
You say the preferred line. That would be true for any turn that is not banked, but for a bank turn like Tarzan corner is, the preferred line actually is the outside line because you can carry so much more momentum.
But look, he's trying at him again. He's clearly got the pace. Oh, I like it this time. But I've said this before. But this time, I think he is going to be able to do it. No, look at the drive from the outside from Ollie.
Wow, Ollie with a very strong setup and obviously feeling very confident wherever he has to go here.
He's hit him again. That time he misses the apex. Now can he finish the deal on the outside? No!
Incredible stuff there from both guys, Dennis and Ollie so far. He's fighting for third place. So once again going to Hans Ernst corner. And yeah, Walker once again coming out on top.
Every corner!
But please don't forget one guy behind them. We have Alistair Hay closing in last lap, Q10th. And in this lap, probably even a full second on the guys ahead.
Garrison with the run. Okay, the inside line didn't work. I will try to listen to the co-commentator and see if I can make the outside line work. It hasn't before, and it does it again. Garrison has got to be saying to Quokka, don't you see that Ronku has run away from us? Can't you see that Ali Hay is gaining on us?
Ali Hay indeed 8/10 faster last lap around. And he can smell the guys ahead.
We are aware there are other battles on the track. This one is just too much fun to leave right now with just under 3 minutes of racing to go. Garrison again, poking, prodding.
Actually, let's go very quickly to P10 as Wichita is now overtaking Local there for 10th place.
There it is. They were working on that one, and we get that one in. Nothing going on in the battle for third right now. Well done. Good job, Steph. And now we can go back to the battle for third, and Ali Hay has joined the party. I wonder if this changes Garrison's strategy, because now not only may he not get that podium spot, he's in jeopardy of losing fourth as well.
Ali Hay so far looking very strong. He was the fastest guy in the top 5.
Boy, a good charge, a great late run from Garrison, not going to get there done. Remember, Hay sits third in the points.
Garrison's biggest problem right now is that Ollie Quokka is able to brake later than him in every single turn. So Dennis, if he wants to make something happen here, he has to make it through a turn or out of one, but not into one.
All right, well, he pulls even alongside now. Of course, he's been here multiple times. Gonna try the little huckabuck, a little dipsy-do, up and under. Not gonna work. Now he looks to the outside. This brings Ali Hay right into the mix. We're under a minute to go. Janssen will get the white flag. Here comes, as he gets the white, we can report that the leader did get the white flag. We'll stay on this one, then we'll check our leader. Oh, there's a mistake, but he saves it.
Wow. Quokka, with the skill of 10 men, saves the car and stays in third.
Our leader has worked his way through Tarzan. He still has the majority of the lap to go. We'll stay on this battle for third.
But here is not Alistair.
Last bite of the turn 1 apple for Garrison. Boy, he gets
very deep on the brake.
Driving in deep, isn't he? This is the best position he's been in at this stage. He's now actually a half car length ahead. This is the best he's been in.
Oh.
They bang wheels again. Continue to be side by side. Ali Hay looking for somewhere to put the car. They bang again. Here he goes through.
And Alistair Hay says, thank you very much, and by he goes.
Garrison fought so hard to get third. He had it for a second, but now Hay, and he finds himself back in fourth again. Meanwhile, our leader working through the S's. 2 more corners to go. It's been wire to wire for Alex Janssen again. All 39 laps are going to go to him as he gets round 3. That'll give us time. Let's go back in and check in on the battle. Hay in third. Garrison in fourth. Quokka in fifth. I don't think either one of these guys are going to be able to get anything for anybody else. How about Ali Hay? Talk about being an opportunist, just waiting for opportunity to knock, and when it does, you let it in and give it a cup of hot chocolate. Ali Hay gets third. Garrison gets fourth. Quokka settles for fifth. But boy, they put on a show. Looking for any other battles throughout the field. Looks like they've all kind of sorted themselves out, believe it or not. Hofladason will get sixth position. Remember, Boudelar was in that battle. He's safe. He's going to come home in 10th.
Interestingly enough, I have to say that right now, Tom van Hooyman did let Mikael Hofladason by him on the finish line.
Might have been a little gentlemanly sportsmanship there from the contact that they had earlier. And with all the other cars coming across, what we will do now is take a short break here on the Global SimRacing Channel. But you know the routine. Stay close, because it'll be a short break. We'll be back to run down the entire field, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Back in a few. Sanctioned by the Absolute Beginners League, this is the Global SimRacing Channel's coverage of Formula Neagle Season 15, Round 3 here from Zandvoort. And my goodness, while it was a wire-to-wire for our leader, Alex Janssen, our winner, the excitement back behind was incredible. Timo Ronku does the undercut, gets second. Ali Hay watches a great battle between Dennis Garrison and Ali Quokka. Hay gets third. Garrison has to settle for fourth. Quokka gets fifth. Then the back half of your top 10. Hofladezen and Van Hoyman in a battle. Hofladezen gets awarded that spot out of sportsmanship from Tom Van Hoyman. David Third Degree Burns, Johan Vanderbilt, and David Butalar round out your top 10, but fighting all the way through. Stefan?
Eric Lukol in 11th, Henrik Kamara in 12th, John Morgan finishes 13th from 20th, Neil Bamber from 27th to 14th, Paul Breto 15th, Josh Brain 16th, Vincenzo Raya 17th on last car on the lead lap, Alejandro Leiro 18th, Daniel Solo 19th, and Christian Greuler rounding out your top 20.
Then we get into the blackjack spot. Matt Cabrera, he kept the car out there. Last car one lap down, stayed out of the way. Nice job, Matt. Quan Tran had issues and his day ended earlier. He's going to finish in the double duck spot. The Strudelmeister, Thomas Kick. Well, the strudel was not tasty today as he's 14 laps out in 23rd. Wojciech Podolzak, Bastian Hausman, Leopold Varable, Vincent Bream in 27th. Pierce Cocky, an early exit for him in 28th. 29th, Jan Stettelpool, and then Elmer Notbaum in 30th.
Obviously, we're already in the thick of the people that didn't finish the race. Rob Hopp, 31st, Floris Bizar, 32nd. I am Keyman, the guy who wrecked already on lap 1, 39 laps down in 33rd. He is also the last car that took the green flag. Paul Bird and Richard Kalum opting to not take this race.
And now I have the honor of being able to talk with our race winner as soon as he comes into the booth, and this is going to be Alex Janssen. Janssen with a great finish today as he goes wire to wire, leading another, I believe it was 39 laps. Add on that to the 77 that he's already led all but 3 laps this season. Alex, I don't know if it was easy, but it looked easy.
Let's say it was easier than last race in Belle Isle. But it was still a rough race, I'm not gonna lie.
Is this your car of choice, the Renault Formula 2?
From now on, definitely.
Let's talk about lap traffic. There was a few, wasn't as bad as we had thought it might be. Did you any close calls?
Yeah, I had some, I wouldn't say close calls, but it was a bit tight at the moment, but no big deal.
All right, I want to talk about pit strategy. Do you run it as long as you can on the very first one and then go again as long as you can on the second one, or is there something, do you ever come in earlier than you need to?
I ran as long as I could just to keep out of unnecessary traffic, really.
Well, you got your second win of the season. You've been dominating, but here's the deal. There are no drop races, and it's a short season, so if you make a mistake, it's hard to come back. So even though you're out in front, there's still a lot of pressure. Alex Janssen, our winner today. Let's go ahead and see if we can talk to who we have here, and we're going to go ahead and let Stefan talk to Timo Roku. This is good.
Yes, Timo is side by side here with me. He finished obviously in second place, 21 seconds behind Alex Janssen with a very dominant performance there from Timo. Also starting in 10th, finishing in second. Talk us through your race, Timo.
Yeah, hi guys. Well, the race was pretty difficult to start with because I messed up my qualifying. I hoped to be somewhere in top 5, but obviously didn't make it. And then in the first couple of laps, I had small mistakes or scares with some other people, and those cost me a place or two. But after that, I'd say the race went pretty much my way, and I'm very surprised how well I performed in the pit cycles. I didn't expect to actually gain P2 by pit cycles alone.
Well, obviously the most interesting question here that is on my mind is, let's say you would have qualified second. Would you have been able to challenge Alex, or do you say he's just too dominant here?
Well, when I was P2 and saw him in the 3 display, I didn't really gain any ground on him. So otherwise, I haven't seen his lap times, but I believe that either he would have kept P1, or I could have maybe a couple of shots, but this is a really difficult track to overtake. So, to be honest, I'm quite certain that I would have had less than 50% chances to take him.
All right. Well, one last question. Pit stop strategy. Did you also just take it as far as you can, or did you have something in mind here?
Yeah, well, I was pretty much going as long as I could, and I was really happy to see that the guys ahead of me didn't do that, because, as I said, overtaking here is such a drag. So they basically lost the spots by pitting before me.
Well, Timo, thank you very much for coming to us. That was our second place finisher, Timo Rönke, with a very dominant performance coming through the field from 10th position. And I believe Soup has caught up with Michael Haflidason.
Michael, this is going to be a hard interview because you seem like you were in a battle the entire race. So I'm going to jump you way back to the very first lap where you got into it with I Am Keeman a little bit. Was your car damaged at all from that early contact?
No, it wasn't. On my screen, we didn't touch or anything, but I just saw him spun in front of me. But yeah. I had no damage.
And then from there on, you were in a fight the entire time, whether with one driver or the other. I think one of them was with Tom Van Hooyman. Did he give you a spot back after you guys made contact?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's my fault, but I haven't watched the replay yet. He on my relative he was clear, so I turned in. Maybe he wasn't clear, so I will say sorry because I think it was my fault.
Yeah, there was a lot of battling you were the entire time coming from both directions. Let me ask you this: did you have fun?
Oh yeah, I had really fun. I had an amazing car. I didn't have the consistency. I think that was what was lacking today.
It's good to have you here in this one. Now, coming up next time, we are going to be going to Monza. How do you feel about that?
Actually, I feel more confident than I do here. Because Monza it's a track because you race it all the time.
Well, I'm going to disappoint you because I went to the wrong Italian track. I think it's Imola we're going to.
Imola is also okay. I love that track. It's really technical. You don't have a lot of overtaking opportunities, even if you have a few. So yeah, qualifying will be a key there, I think.
Well, it's always exciting to watch your race. It's great to see you in there. You had a good result today as you came home in 6th. Yes, you started in 7th, only picked up one spot, but man, you had to earn it. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be seeing you guys in 2 weeks.
All right, way to go. Michael Haflidason is an always fun driver to have around. Okay, and as I look down here to see if we have anything else, if we're going to be wrapping up, we're looking at Tom Van Hooyman.
Yes, I'm standing here pit side with Tom Van Hooyman, our P7 finisher, if I remember correctly. Yes, indeed, letting Michael Haflidason by on the start-finish straight now. Why did you let him by there?
At my point of view, when we were in the chicane, to be honest, I thought it was my fault because I was at the inside and I steered too late to the right. So I hit him and he got into the gravel and I was free to go. So it kind of felt like it was my fault. And as a fair racer I am, I was like, all right, I'm going to give him the position back because he was in front all the time. I could follow him. I just overtook him at the Schijfvlak and after that he was coming back because I got a poor exit, and all that time he was in front, so it felt for me like he was in front all of the time. I didn't know what would happen if we didn't touch, if he couldn't get behind. He was 4 seconds or 5 seconds behind me after the pit stops, and after that he spun once, so he was like 10 seconds behind. So we never know what would have happened, but in my opinion, like, to be fair, it felt like it was my fault, so I just like, all right, give the position back.
Well, that's the joy of Canadian racing. Both drivers feel bad for the incident to happen, and both blamed themselves on the incident. But leaving Zandvoort behind, we're coming over to Autodromo Enzo Ferrari in Imola. How do you feel about that track in 2 weeks' time?
Imola is a very, very good track for me. Last time in another league, I got some good points in that league, P10 and P12, so I was really happy with that. So yeah, maybe I think I can go for a podium if everything goes well. So I'm guessing for that, and Imola is a good place to be for me. Really good, consistent. What happened in 2 weeks' time?
Interesting. I'm gonna mark you down with podium, Tom von Heumann. So don't disappoint me now.
No, I won't, mate. I won't let you down.
Well, once again, thank you very much, Tom, for coming to us, our 7th place finisher. And yes, Soup, very great racing that we've seen so far.
Boy,
today.
it was a good one today, indeed. Let's thank the people at the Absolute Beginner League for putting on such a good show and for organizing the entire Formula Neagle series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. Thanks to the company's equipment and software that you see on the screen now that we use on the broadcast. The original music that gives every GSRC broadcast that unique flavored feel is thanks to Eric Eckelm and June Alon. See the screen to have to contact each of them. Formula Legal returns in 2 weeks. That's going to be round 4, not from Monza, but from Imola. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us. Sliding across your screen right now are just some of the upcoming broadcasts, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like to find out more information about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, you can check it out at globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel and Instagram at GSRC_Graham. And while you're here, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe by simply hitting that button on this YouTube channel. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, Steph, Sean, and Doug, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun, storm the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.